data types and data structures in JavaScript. It is one of the most fundamental concepts of programming language is the set of data types it supports. And just like any other programming language, JavaScript has its own data type and data structures. JavaScript gives us the ability to not specify what type of information will be stored in a variable, which means we can initialize any type to a variable, and that variable can be used to hold different data types. And that's because variables are not directly associated with any particular value type. So programming languages that allows us to assign and reassign different data types are called loosely typed or dynamically typed language. Before we keep going, let's have a quick look at typing and differences between type systems. Typing in general refers to data types and how solid they are. Understanding the differences between these type systems is key to understanding the way in which errors are handled. There are several different types of typing system which can impact a language, like dynamic, static, inferred, nominal, structural, duck typing, and other typing systems as well. But we are going to focus only on the difference between dynamically typed languages and statically typed languages. So first, dynamically typed language perform type checking at runtime, while statically typed language perform type checking at compile time. This means that script written in dynamically typed languages like JavaScript can compile even if they contain errors that will prevent the script from running properly. If a script written in a statically typed language such as Java and might contain errors, it will fail to compile until the error is fixed. Statically typed languages requires declaring the data types of variables before using them, while dynamically typed language do not. There are two categories represent data types in JavaScript: primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Primitive data types are stored in memory by value, while non-primitives are stored in memory by reference. As of today, JavaScript defines the following data types. String type is used for representing textual data that contains letters, numbers, symbols, punctuation, and even emoji. Strings consist of 0 or more characters surrounded by any of the three types of quotation marks in JavaScript: single quotes, double quotes, and backtick. Practically, there is no difference between double and single quotes in JavaScript. Strings can be created as primitives from string literal or as objects using the string constructor. Backticks are extended functionality codes. They give us the ability to embed variables and expressions into string by wrapping them in $sign open close curly brackets. The expression then is evaluated and the result becomes a part of the string. We can put anything in there, like variable name or an arithmetical expression or even more complex logic. String is one of the primitive data types. However, JavaScript automatically converts primitives to string objects so that it is possible to use string object methods for primitive strings. I wrote an article about string and string methods. I highly recommend you to check it out for further details on string methods. Number is a numeric data type, represents integer and floating point numbers. In addition of regular numbers, there are special number values that belongs to a number data type, and they are infinity, negative infinity, and nan. Infinity represents the mathematical infinity. Nan is a special value representing not a number. It is usually used to indicate an error condition from a result of a valid number. Boolean. Boolean is a pretty straightforward data type. It is a logical data type that represents value either false or true. Boolean logic is used to help us make decisions whether to run this piece of code or another piece of code in a program. Undefined. Undefined represents undefined value, which means the value is not assigned. Undefined is automatically assigned in some of the following cases. One of the cases could be declared but not defined, so JavaScript assigns undefined where no value has been explicitly assigned to the variable. Another case could be array index or object property that does not exist, or a function parameter that has not been supplied. Null. Null in JavaScript signifies no value or non-existence of any value. Non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types refer to collectively as objects. So objects is a special non-data but structural type. It is used as data structures for creating new object, new date, new array, and almost everything made with the new keyword. So array is a high-level list like objects. Objects are used to store keyed collection for various data and the more complex entities. Objects can be created using the object constructor or object initializer notation, which is also known as literal notation. Objects are list of properties. A property is a key value pair where key is a string, also called as property name, and the value can be anything.